Hey guys, what is going on? Devon here. Hope you guys are having a good day so far, and welcome back to Kingdom Hearts 101. I am joined once again by Josh Music. Josh, say hello.
Hello, Josh.
So, we just got done playing Kingdom Hearts Re-Chain of Memories, except we actually didn't play it.
I mean, a little bit.
Yeah, so just as a refresher from what I mentioned last episode, I had Josh play through the first world of Chain of Memories so that he could sort of get a feel for the gameplay and how that worked, and then the rest of it we just showed the cutscenes, because if we played through Re-Chain of Memories, then this would take way too long to get out, so we decided to take the easier route. I still played through the final boss sort of to show him how that worked, because I really like the final boss of Re-Chain of Memories. And then... yeah, and so that was Sora's campaign, and then we just got done watching Riku's campaign. We just watched the cutscenes, because Riku's gameplay isn't that much different from Sora, so, well, we'll talk about it when we get to it. But, yeah, we're just going to talk about the game, get Josh's opinion of it, and, of course, his predictions for the next game that we're going to go into after this, which is, of course, Kingdom Hearts 2, which I am very excited about. So, in general, Josh, what are your thoughts on Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories?
What? Just... what? It's a lot of what?
Yeah.
I really liked it, though. A lot of new twists and turns to the series. They go on to, the gameplay aspect. It flipped its head.
Yeah, yeah, so sort of had context to that, so I didn't really want to give away too much about what Chain of Memories gameplay was like, because I just mentioned that it's very different from Kingdom Hearts 1, and when you play it, it's going to be very jarring. So immediately when we go into Traverse Town for the first time, and we go into our first gameplay segment, you just looked at me like, Devon, what is this game?
What is this?
Because it's a card-based battle system, Josh! We're playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Kingdom Hearts Edition! Yeah.
I mean, I started getting the hang of it and started liking it near the end, but at first I was like, what is this? I've never seen anything like this before.
Yeah, so I mentioned earlier it was... they designed it for Game Boy to be played on a portable system. So when you play it on Game Boy, it does kind of make sense in that regard why they would structure it that way. But in a 3D context, like how they remade it in 3D, oh god, it's a bit much.
Yeah, well, if you didn't have to, I don't know about the GameCube. Or Game Boy.
Yeah, wrong Nintendo console.
It wouldn't be so bad if it was a little bit more what's it called? When you have to press a button at a certain time.
Like QuickTime events?
QuickTime events. But instead of having the mash button, you have to pick the right card.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to do something like that, or just do straight up turn-based combat in the 3D realm. I can kind of maybe see it. It's just the biggest thing was this, having to keep moving and then select the right card. It wasn't that bad when you first start off and most of the enemies are pretty low level and pretty easy to just, get rid of. But I can see it being a big headache in later boss battles and having to organize cards and be like, oh, I also have to try to dodge the enemy's attacks at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Or move.
You saw my card deck when I was doing the final battle. That's
30 cards.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it does get really wild. So the gameplay, I always say this about Chain of Memories gameplay. It's not bad. It just, you really have to prioritize strategy above everything else. With the first Kingdom Hearts game, and even with Kingdom Hearts 2 when we started, you can play it as a button masher if you want to, but with Chain of Memories, you really gotta pay attention to the different cards that you're using, and you can still string combos together with different cards you select, but it's a lot to keep track of.
Yeah, almost like a real card game.
Yeah, like a real card game, exactly.
Like I said, it wouldn't be, and like I said, this is probably different on the Game Boy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming there's a lot less moving you can do in battle, or do you still have to try to dodge and
it's
stuff?
still, it's 2D movement, so you're there's only so much movement you can do with it, but because it's on a 2D plane, it kind of makes it easier to manage everything that's going on in battle and stuff like that.
Yeah. So yeah, I kind of wish. Well, I mean, if I had a chance to play this on Game Boy, it would be my opinions would be way different about the card system. But yeah, I agree with the 3D. Just good positive note. They fixed everything from Kingdom Hearts. Like it flipped in terms of gameplay. Some ways in the bad, some ways in the good. They fixed the platforming mechanic because there's literally almost none.
Yeah.
As far as I know, there was only like you had to jump up a couple levels. Like there was no like jumping from really weird spots to another weird spot, and I don't know. Is there any like later in the game? Do you have to figure out any puzzles or anything, or is it just
not really? No, it's just rooms with card battles and stuff like that.
See,
so.
And I'm thinking because I gotta get back into it, but it's a little bit different. But this kind of reminds me of Diablo. It wasn't turn-based, but you definitely still had to think about what you're doing, but it was on a 2D plane as well. And I could see where this would be really nice on a 2D platform compared to 3D. 3D definitely kind of throws it for a loop. But yeah, they fixed the platforming, so there's that. So the fighting mechanic, it's kind of it's not the worst I've seen. Like it's playable. It's just definitely more difficult and a little bit more jarring, but it's doable. But they fixed the platforming, which is kind of funny. Like it goes the opposite of the first game. The first game, battling was pretty fun, but the
actual controlling it was a bit much.
Yeah, but the story,
the
big thing. Oh my god, I loved it, but so much going on, and it makes me excited for later on. But so you've got the organization, which is quote unquote nobodies. So in my head right now, I'm thinking that they are, because they talk about Sora, and I'm thinking that they're people that have lost their heart but haven't become heartless. They're kind of stuck in limbo. I don't know what their goals are as an organization. They almost seem like they're just trying to keep middle down the road. Like they're trying to control darkness and light, almost like Jedi later on in Star Wars, where they're trying to do both and not just protect the light. But it's really hard for me to assume. There's a lot of backstabbing within the organization, a lot of like twists and turns. So it's really muddled for me to figure out what their end goal is. And the whole part with Naminé and Sora losing his memories to get through, like that was really crazy. Made me kind of sad. Like I get why. Like if I was in his position, I would choose to get back all his memories, but it makes me sad for Naminé and hoping she'll come back later on and maybe somehow he remembers. But Jiminy did say he'd write stuff down in his journal, and then you go on to the Riku part of it where he decided, fuck that noise, I'm going to be a badass and I'm just going to deal with the darkness on my end. But yeah, the whole I definitely like the Sora. Like I'm gonna continue going back on the Sora one first. I like that he had some conflict. The first game, he was all about, like, sure, he did fight Riku a little bit, but there was not much changing in Sora's character. It was Riku changing for, like, the darkness was controlling him. In this one, you could see some conflict going on. Like, he was even arguing with Donald and Goofy.
Yeah.
They're, like, telling him, like, hey, slow down. Like, look at, like, ever since you've gotten this castle, you've been thinking about Naminé, but, like, beforehand, you couldn't even remember her. Isn't that kind of weird? And he's like, no, like, Naminé's got to be the one I'm here to save, and we got to do this, and I'll leave you guys behind if you're just not going to, like, stick up with me. And it's like, wow, like, you see, like, Sora's kind of, like, getting absorbed in this, and you can kind of see some flaws in him. Like, he's not the perfect hero that he once was. Well, never saying he was perfect, but he was never the, you know, I'm here for my friends I'm here for everybody in the first game, he's definitely become a little bit more selfish. Later that changes, but like that's a shining moment to see like, hey, he does have flaws. And I really like that. Like I like that in the game series where the characters have moments and dips in their personality or in their beliefs that, hey, you know, they're human too. They're not just straight perfect. I've never liked that about any book series or anything, that a character is always perfect. Like I like that they're human and they make mistakes as well. So I like that aspect. I like the fact that he was the memory thing of him being like what is going on and just trying to figure out stuff. Like even threw me for a loop. I thought Naminé was someone that he did forget about, but meanwhile, like she never was a part of his life growing up, which that threw me for a loop. I was like, oh, I'm just thinking like maybe she was a fourth person, and then later, like near the middle, it's like okay, something's definitely weirdly going on, like because he didn't make the promise with Naminé, that didn't happen, and like I'm thinking like, wait a minute, I can start to see where things are going weird.
Yeah, especially when quote unquote Riku shows up and and he's showing sort of the same memories as Sora, and it's just like, what's going on?
Something funny is going on. And it was definitely just weird. But I like seeing the old characters too, but a little bit different take on them because they're memories. So seeing like Sid and Aerith and drawing a blank on the other two, Yuffie and Leon.
Yeah.
Yes. I can't remember their names for some reason, but yeah, seeing them and then seeing some other characters show up that a little bit different than what they actually are was kind of nice. And then going on to the Riku aspect, I already kind of touched the organization. They play a hand with Sora a little bit. I definitely like the same one that you liked in terms of his name. There's a lot of organization people, and it's hard to remember all their names.
Axel?
Axel, yes.
Yeah.
Axel was... I like him, but I'm not 100% sure if I love him. Because he's definitely... He reminds me a lot of Deadpool. Like an anti-hero. Like he's been doing... Sure, he's kind of quote-unquote helping the organization because that's his job, but there's a lot of like... He straight up killed Vexen.
Yeah.
I know it was...
That is what... I will say this right now. That is one of my favorite cutscenes in Kingdom Hearts ever. How Axel kills Vexen. It's just like, you're off the hook. No, please, don't do this. Goodbye.
Yeah.
And he just explodes.
Like that, I thought was cool, but it's like, okay, that was part of his job. That I'm fine with. Like, yeah, I see that's kind of cool. But then later on, when he has the Riku clone, and he's with... what's his name? Blue hair.
Oh, Zexion.
Zexion. They had to pick the weird... Like, what did they pick? Like, Bob and Steve. No. You got Vexion and... Oh, God. Anyways, so he... Like, the way he kills him and just offs him is, like... You can kind of see that Axel's a little bit of a snake sometimes. Like, he's not just doing... Like, Vexen, I could see why. This other guy, it's like, okay, you just seem like you killed him because you have your own interests and you may not be doing this for the greater good. It's like, you threw me for a loop there. But so I definitely, his character is really interesting. I don't know what to make of him, if he's a good guy or a bad guy. Yeah, he seems kind of doing stuff for his own well-being. Larxene, she's a real see you next Tuesday, and I'm glad she's dead.
Yeah.
I did not like her at all, but I think that was supposed to be her character, was that she's just a straight up bitch. Naminé, I really liked her character. I really want to see more of her. I know I shipped her with
You ship her and Sora, like
Sora,
hardcore, yeah.
But I could maybe see her going along with Riku.
Oh yeah.
Now that he knows her and like he's gonna have all their memories like involving her, I could see that going better. But who knows? I'm just putting stuff in that I want to in my own head right now. Other than that, I'm just trying to think of what else I might be missing. Oh, we finally get to see the king. Mickey.
Yeah, Mickey shows up finally. In Riku's campaign, yeah.
I think he's basically this. He's a Kingdom Hearts version of Yoda.
Yeah.
Just shows up as a ghost, and it's like, "Hey, Riku, you want to come back to the light, boy?" And just helps him along, and then. And Riku is basically Luke Skywalker at this point, in between the dark and the light, and I love it. I really love it. Riku was kind of just like, in the first game, he was just kind of the moody teenager, just, I'm trying to do the best, but secretly, or I'm actually getting sucked into the wrong part of town. Like, I didn't really like how that was, well, I mean, there's only so much you can do with having a villain, whatnot, aspect. So, but I was gonna say, like, I didn't really like how kind of cookie cutter, like, a lot of that happens in games and books and movies, that you have a friend of the hero that ends up being sucked into the wrong side because they think it's right, but it's not actually. But in this game, like, that, no, this is like straight up, like, he is going his own way, and I really like it. Like, he's not just almost a side villain in the first game. Like, he is his own, and the fact that you can play as him too. So he's definitely a character now in my eyes. The game was kind of short, but I'm hoping, again, as I said in the first one, I want to see more of Kairi too. I want her to be more in the game. Just not, she's the princess we need to kind of save, and she's just kind of there. So I guess it's going to lead on to predictions.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else from Kingdom Hearts, because and then that whole stuff with the Riku replica thing, that was
that was dark.
That was dark.
I said to Devon, I was like, this is a kid's game.
Yeah.
It's like, like, if I was playing that as, like, I don't know, let's just say like a 10, 11-year-old, I'd been like, whoa, that's dark. I don't know. I have a feeling, like, I want to see him return, though. I want
the Riku replica?
I want to see him return, but, like, maybe look different and be his own thing. Because the way he goes out just doesn't seem... The way that he's set, like, the way he's talking doesn't seem like it's the end to me. But I don't know. Like, it seems like he's going to be coming back. But I did like that. That was definitely interesting, though, to see someone being created and then wondering who the hell they are, and just end up saying, like, you know what, like, I don't want to be here because I'm just a clone and just a fake. But I don't know. Like, I joked to Devon, but it would be kind of interesting to see him return. And I said, like, why don't he just shave his hair?
Yeah, he just goes completely bald. It's just like, now I'm someone new. So, like, you still have my face. It's like, but I'm someone new.
Just, like, change your hairstyle, change your clothes, and there you go. You're going to be your own person now. But, yeah, I thought it was kind of funny. It's like, you complain about being the same person. It's like, sure, you got the kind of darkness or heartless-looking outfit muscle thing. But it's like, just just do your own thing, boy.
Yeah.
And I think that's everything that... I think. Is there anything else you think I'm missing?
I'm trying to think. Just the whole Riku has the ghost of Ansem following him everywhere, and then Mr. Covered in Bandages. Diz.
Yeah, Diz. I don't know what to think of him, to be honest. He seems like he's just gonna be kind of middle of the road. He kind of looks like Ansem underneath, though, with the same eye color and same skin tone. So I'm wondering if maybe he is an Ansem that ended up good, kind of, sort of. Maybe from an alternate world or universe, and he's coming to try to help out, but I'm not too sure. He I don't know. He asks Riku to make a choice between either the light and the dark. So it's just again, I don't know how to peg him, if he's the same idea of Axel but with less context, like with less character development. So he's in the I don't know yet. Less like Axel, definitely I'm leaning more towards he's kind of a bad guy.
Yeah.
Because he's done some more horrible shit. Diz, it's like he's done nothing really good nor bad. Like, he's done some good, I guess, but not really anything I would say, well, that's fantastic. He's just kind of been there.
Mm-hmm.
So I like his character design though, and I like his voice actor.
Oh yeah, because we were when we were playing it for a little bit, you were like, wait a sec, is that the guy who does Dooku from Clone Wars? And I was just like, yep, and there's a reason for it when we get to Kingdom Hearts 2. But speaking of, I think this is a good way to transition into our next topic of discussion. Josh, what are your predictions for Kingdom Hearts 2?
I think Ansem will become president. No, I think
Make darkness great again.
Yeah, make darkness great again.
Oh.
We need to build a wall in front of Kingdom Hearts.
We'll make the Heartless pay for it. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, boy, that's awesome.
Okay, so...
I first off, I want to see more Moogles, damn it.
More Moogles?
More Moogles. There better be some more Moogles in this. I think Ansem will return, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that is going to affect Riku. I have a feeling that he's going to have to battle him again. I think the organization is going to be the main villain in the next game. I think because this game was, as you said, it's kind of in between, and they added a lot of, basically they redid like every cutscene for this version. So I believe the organization's going to be the main problem in the next game for sure. Again, I don't know what they seem like a cult. They seem like they're wanting to do bad, but they're so up in air right now. Like for me, it's like they haven't really drawn a clear line. The fact that they're killing their own members, for example, and saying like, "Hey, we're backstabbing the own like." Larkseen and Vexen, it's like, yeah, we want to take over the organization too, and kind of backstab everybody. It's like, what? Like, what? Like, there's so much going on, like so much infighting too, but I think they're going to be the main villain. I predict that Mickey and Riku are finally going to meet up with Sora and Goofy and Donald and the rest of the gang. I want to see Kairi. Like, I want to see Kairi be as a playable character and have some more use into the game, but who knows? I think Riku's definitely going to pop up again as a playable character at least, or at least in the party system would be kind of cool. And I think I want to see Naminé. I don't know if she's going to be in the game. I don't think she is. My brain says I don't think she is. My heart says I wish she will. I don't think she is, though. I have a feeling that she's just a Chain of Memories character, and she's probably, that's the end of her. I'm just trying to think of where else the game series can go. Like, really, like, this... I don't... Like, the first game's so clear. It's so easy to really pick out what's going on. It's like, okay, Heartless, bad... Ansem's being sucked up by the dark. Well, you kind of figured that out later. But a bunch of evil villains being controlled by the darkness. We gotta stop the darkness. Riku happens to lose his way along, like lose his self along the way. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
This game throws a wrench into the works. It's like, okay, well, like darkness is really not showing up a whole lot except for Ansem. Biggest villain is the organization in Naminé, even though, well, Naminé's not really like a villain, but she's definitely not making things easy.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, if the second game, like, again, I don't know what the organization wants. I really lost for where the game's gonna go in like terms of what the end goal is. Like, I think Sora's gonna end up trying to defeat the organization, and Ansem's gonna return, and he's gonna have to try to, like, Riku is gonna have to try to fight him, and maybe Sora helps out. But like after that, like, who's gonna take over? Like, where's the darkness gonna come from? Like, who's gonna be the kind of quote unquote like bad guy or leader of it? Is it gonna just take on its own form? Is the organization really just actually mostly good and Axel's gonna turn into a villain. Like, I think, I think Ansem's gonna return.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna probably be the main villain. The organization is gonna have members going for good and bad stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think their ultimate goal is to try to bring balance between the light and the dark. I think that's what their goal is, and they're going to play a hand in trying to help and, again, be a hindrance to Sora and Riku and the rest. They're definitely going to reconnect. I'm 100% sure that they're going to reconnect, and I think Kairi's going to finally see both Riku and Sora, and she's going to be pretty happy about that, but I don't know if she's going to really do anything else. That's my predictions for the next game. After that, I really, like... I think this is going to be mind-blowing the second game. I'm going to be like, what the hell is going to happen for the rest of the series? Like, I'm already, like... First game was like, oh yeah, I think I know, like, this is going to be pretty, straightforward, but it's like, now it's like, Chain of Memory is like, what the... What?
Yeah, I will say that, like, Kingdom Hearts 2 does lay a lot of the groundwork for, like, where the rest of the series goes from here. Because a lot does happen, but, like, yeah, like, after playing Chain of Memories, like... Well, I'll say this, right? I've mentioned this before, but like I played Kingdom Hearts 2 was my first game in the series, so I was kind of already lost. But even if you were to come off of Chain of Memories, like yeah, that's a lot of weird stuff to keep track of, like this weird cult like people who we don't know their motivations about. Sora's now asleep, Riku's on the path of redemption, and at the end of the game, at the end of Riku's campaign, we met this weird blonde-haired kid that we don't really know about.
Cloud Strife's kid. That's
yeah.
my guess.
You would be surprised how much fanfiction there is of like how that kid...
Cloud Strife Jr.
Cloud Strife Jr. But
I almost forgot about that because he's like, yeah, he showed up a few times, but it's like he hasn't been that important in my mind to be like, But now that I think about it, maybe he... I don't think he's gonna be a villain, but I don't know how he's going to interact with the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he is a villain? I don't know. Again, there's so much, like, yeah, they're giving you little sprinkles of stuff, but, like, it's not enough information. Like, I'm trying my best to, like, guess, but it's just all guesswork. Like, most of the stuff... Well, actually, I'm trying to think back on my earlier predictions for this game.
Oh, yeah.
Shit, we should have re-listened to what I said beforehand.
Yeah, jeez.
Well, now that we're going fresh in the Kingdom Hearts 2, it'll be pretty easy to say, like, oh, yeah. Well, my predictions for the next game has been so middle of the road.
Yeah.
So, it's like, oh, well, I guess I got it kind of right or kind of wrong. The only thing I'm making for sure statement on is I think Ansem's going to be a villain again at some point. And the fact that Mickey and Riku are going to reconnect. That's the two things I will say for certain is my, like, prediction.
Your hard prediction, though.
My hard prediction. The rest is all like, I have no idea. I'm just making kind of guesses. The other two, I'm making fairly educated guesses because I just have a feeling between what the rest of the series has happened and where everything else is going, like, this is pretty clear path in my mind and where it's going, but the rest is all up in the air still. But that kid, Strife Jr. I don't know. I think he's gonna be... I think he's just gonna be... I don't know. I don't think he's gonna be a villain. He seems to. He looks like a nice kid.
He looks like a nice kid.
He looks like a nice person. But so did Ansem. He looked like a nice person. Until he wanted you to submit.
But yeah, I think on that note, we're gonna jump into Kingdom Hearts 2, and yeah, it's gonna be. We are gonna actually play this game. Of course, we are. Yeah, I've gone on record so many times on saying that, like, Kingdom Hearts 2 is it's not just my favorite game in the series, like, it is my all-time favorite video game. So in contrast to how I had you go through, like, a lot of the main stuff for the first Kingdom Hearts just so that we could go through Kingdom Hearts 2, we are playing the final mix version because that's the version that's on the PS4 collection. I'm going to make sure you experience everything because there's because I have been going through the game to sort of prep for when we get to, because I want you to go through some of the post-game stuff, because a lot of it has to do with some stuff that's going to happen later on in the series. And yeah, I'm really excited to go into this next game. So I don't know when we'll have that next episode out, because Kingdom Hearts 2 is slightly longer than Kingdom Hearts 1. So there is going to be a little bit to get through, but I'm just really excited to go through it.
Me too.
Yeah. So on that note, guys, I think we're gonna jump into the next game. Thank you, Josh, as always, for joining me.
My pleasure. I want to see some more Moogles, damn it.
Yeah, all about them Moogles. So yeah, until then, we're going to jump into the next game. And with that, we're going to close out this episode here. Thank you all so much for listening. Please like the video, share it with your friends, comment below your thoughts on this Kingdom Hearts series. And until next time, Josh, you have any final remarks?
See you later, my Koopos.
My Koopos! Yeah, thank you all so much for watching. May your heart be your guiding key. Take care, everybody. Bye.